Hi, my name is Alabaster Lice, and I've been wanting to make this video for 2.5 years. Since its release in 1985, it's become somewhat of a nichely well-known meme that every boss in the original Super Mario Bros. Is basically the same. You pretty much just go up to Bowser, he shoots probably about one projectile at you, then you jump over him, enter the room beyond, and find out the princess is in another castle for the 1st to 7th time. Either that, or you shoot 3 or 4 fireballs. Either that, or you shoot 3 or 4 fireballs at him, he freaking dies, and then you find out it was just a low-level enemy the whole time. And then enter the room beyond and find out the princess is in another castle for the 1st to 7th time. With all this similarity, it would simply be futile and ridiculous to crown one the best of them and one the worst, because they're all essentially the exact same. It can't realistically be done. It realistically shouldn't be done. Which is why pretty much ever since the conception of this channel, in my little 12-year-old newly Switch-owning head, I've been wanting to make this my very first video. Hey. They don't call me the stupid Nintendo kid for nothing. Of course, that didn't happen because of Metacritic soiling my life to the bone and timing with the Game Awards, but those videos were rushed and mostly made out of raw, primal, instinctive emotion. In spirit, this is my first. Because of humor and funnies, hope and lost, clinging dreams, today I will rank every boss in the original Super Mario Bros. Number 12, 1-4. You may be wondering why there are 12 entries. Well, it's because I have opinions. You see, as I mentioned before, there are 2 ways you can approach the boss fights in this video game. You can either jump over Bowser, hit a conveniently placed axe behind the bridge, and plunge him into the conveniently placed sea of lava below, or you can just shoot 3 fireballs at him. And in my personal opinion, which you should obviously value immensely, these 2 methods make any given boss's quality vary wildly. So of course, me being me, instead of just taking them both into account for one entry and having to think more critically about where each one goes, and for the sake of artificially lengthening the video so it isn't about 4 minutes long, I split all the ones I felt this affected, which doesn't include this one, into 2. Hey. They don't call me the stupid Nintendo kid for nothing. Okay, now that that's out of the way, yeah, the worst one here is definitely 1-4, being a pretty simple, anticlimactic introduction to the mechanics. There is a bit of that element of surprise if you somehow haven't heard of anything in the Mario universe before and are playing the game for the first time and you didn't look at the box art whatsoever, and you find out the enemy you're fighting is a giant spiked fire-breathing turtle cat dog dragon sorcerer. But that's about the only thing this could potentially have on any of the other entries. Number 11, 3-4, fireballs. This is where I introduce a part of the boss fight that I call the lead-up to the boss fight. So I guess it isn't actually part of the boss fight. This is the part right before you actually get to Bowser. You know, like when you're just jumping around and then a fireball comes out of nowhere and scares the frick out of you, but they're not actually that hard. Yeah, it's that. And this one, it's not terrible, but compared to a lot of the other ones, it's pretty poor. And while the actual fight is more difficult than the next entry, it's still pretty quick and anticlimactic. Number 11, 2-4, fireballs. This one has a fantastic lead-up. It is scary, it is dramatic, it builds up and gets you excited to fight this guy for the 2nd time and really show him who's boss in a dramatic fight. And then you just shoot a couple fireballs. And then you just shoot a couple fireballs at him and he dies. Number 9, 4-4, jumping. This is another one with a pretty scant lead-up, and the fight doesn't last all too long. But this is the most complicated yet in its obstacles, and it's actually pretty fun dodging and weaving fireballs until you jump over him 5 seconds later. Number 8, 5-4, fireballs. This one's kind of a 50-50. There's a good chance for it to be relatively difficult and last a decent while, but there's also just as much a chance of beating him in about 2 seconds like most parts of this game that came before. Which I guess makes sense seeing as it's situated directly after the middle of the game. Number 7, 2-4, jumping. Like I said before, 2-4 has a fantastic dramatic lead-up. And in contrast to the Fireball version, the jumping version actually somewhat delivers on that. The main thing here is they added this nice line of blocks above Bowser, which makes it a lot harder and leagues more interesting to jump over him. Now instead of 3 seconds to jump over him, it takes 5! And a brain! Also, it might just be my intensely overactive imagination, or the astoundingly genius design of this video game, but it seems to me that Bowser's AI is a little better here than the first fight. Like, he's more intelligent. I don't think that's possible, but, you know. Say it with me. They don't call me the stupid Nintendo kid. They don't call me the stupid Nintendo kid for nothing. I mean, they don't. I call me that. But I would like it if they did. Number 6, 3-4. Jumping. It's basically just 2-4, but a little harder. Therefore better. Slightly. Number 5, 4-4. Fireballs. This is the first one so far that actually feels like a boss fight. Which makes it better than all the other ones so far. I know, crazy. I mean, it actually takes an amount of time. I know, crazy. I won't do the thing where I bring the chair back this time. I'll just talk at you for like 5 seconds. Like I said with the jumping version, it's fun to dodge and weave the fireballs, but here you actually have to shoot back with your own fireballs at the same time, and think about which times are safe to shoot and which aren't. Again, this is the first one that actually feels like a conventionally designed boss fight. And in my personal opinion, that's pretty neat. Number 4, 7-4. 3 words. Hammers. Number 3, 6-4. Hammers, but more surprise and honestly better. It's closer quarters, which just makes it more fun and interesting. Honestly, I don't know why they put this one before 7-4, because it's honestly more difficult. I guess the other one looks grandiose because it's big, but this one's harder, so... Number 2, 5-4. Jumping. And here's our runner-up. Yeah, I don't know why I put this one here either. I actually ranked these the day before I started writing this script. That's taken me a week on and off to write, and have gotten very confused at my own logic multiple times. So that does wonders for my credibility. What I wrote here is derivative of 2-4 and slightly worse lead up, but takes a bit, is relatively difficult, most climactic yet. So what I think I was trying to say here is, even though it's bad, because it's kind of difficult and takes a while to do, that means it's good. Hey, maybe all the other ones just aren't very good as boss fights. Number 1, 8-4. I think we all knew it would probably come to this. Does anyone else actually care about this topic enough to predict the winner? Is anyone even watching this? Even my 4 subscribers? I mean, my mom probably will, but what about the other 3? I mean, one of them is my friend, but he doesn't even like my videos, and I'm fairly certain one of the others is my other friend. And he does like my videos. I don't know, he might just be lying. And I don't even know who the other one is. Is this joke even funny? The script is terrible. What even are grilled cheese sandwiches? Ah! This one is a classic. It puts every other boss fight in this game to shame. I mean, it's actually good! The feeling you get as you enter the final level is unparalleled in probably any video game, besides ones I haven't played the same way as this. pounding with fear and hope that maybe, just maybe, you'll beat it. You go through the level, playing everything in slow motion for dramatic effect, and you reach the only small thing this level has for lead up. A single hammer brother, the King Koopa's lone last defense. On some miracle stroke of luck, you manage to best it. Your heart rate goes from 85 to 89 as you jump the platform. The Padobu, or lava bubble if you want to have terrible misconceptions, barely missing you as you make your way to the arena where your true enemy, Bowser, finally real, makes one last desperate attempt to stomp your hopes and noble intentions into the ground. You jump through his last few hammers because it's 1985 and the console can't run 7 hitboxes at once. And finally, you hit the fateful axe that sends your nemesis plunging into the sea of lava below. And finally, you have salvation. Finally, your tension releases. Finally, the Princess Toadstool is saved.
I kinda broke the camera.
What Shigeru Miyamoto and his team of goofball underdogs struck here with the final boss of Super Mario Bros. Way back in 1985 will probably never be replicated, and it holds its own stock footage cheap apartment place in my heart as one of the greatest moments in all of video gaming. Yeah, just saying special was a bit too boring for me. I'm far too wacky for that. Thank you for indulging in my hopefully entertainingly stupid dream of rambling madly about the same boss fight for however long. This script wasn't as fun to write as I thought it would be, so thanks for watching to the end anyway. Anyway, I've been Alabaster Lias, I am not reporting the news, and I would like feedback. This is a terrible outro in the script that I will play off as jokes, because I don't want to write them again. Also, this 12-minute video took me way too long to edit. Thank you.